Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of my tutorial park. In today's episode I will show you how to build a slingshot ride. Now, if you don't know what a slingshot ride is, basically it's a ride where we have two tall arms and in between these arms a ball is suspended, and at some point the ball is shot up into the air. Now this used to be done with elastic cords between which the ball would be suspended, but modern versions of the ride basically just use steel cables that get tensioned and that get spooled up really fast, which in turn makes the ball fly up. Now this ride is actually really easy to make, so yeah, let's just get on with it. Alright, first off we'll want to mark the area where the ride is going to be. So for that I'm just going to make a 5x5 area. I want the ride to be over here. And then on both sides we'll add an extra tile, so it's now a 7x5. And then on both sides we'll add another 3x3 area, like so. Now, and what we'll do next is simply build a launched freefall ride. Now what's important is that the arrow faces away from where you want the viewers to see the ride. So the back of the arrow, that's the side which the vehicle for the ride will be on. So I'm going to raise the ride slightly off the ground. And then just make it as high as you want the vehicle to fly. It doesn't matter if the ride is a bit higher than how high you want the vehicle to be. As long as the vehicle doesn't fly off the track, you're probably good. Okay, now this is our ride. Now I will want to select a different vehicle for this ride. So in the cheat menu, we'll go to the ride cheats and we'll select disable vehicle limits and show vehicles from other track types. And when that is done, we'll select the flying roller coaster trains here. Now it says now 32 cars, 1 car per train. We'll change this into 1 car per train. Normally it should say 1 train here, but the launched freefall normally doesn't have trains, so it just has 1 car. But yeah, we'll have 1 car per train. And then we set the speed to a speed that we like. I think 90 kilometers per hour should be good. I think this is a decent height for the slingshot ride. Okay, next we'll want to make the arms. So normally there's 2 arms for this ride, and we'll want to make it look sort of like the ball is suspended between the 2 arms. Now you could try and make these arms angled like so, but yeah, they will angle out pretty far. So I typically just go with vertical arms for a ride like this. I think it's actually closer to the angle in which the arms for these rides usually are. But yeah, you could make them using steep track if you want. Alright, I will just make a horizontal track piece here. Then we'll go upwards, and over here we'll make vertical track. And just increase the height to a height which you think is appropriate for the ride. Alright, when that is done, I'm gonna go into the tile inspector here. I'm gonna hold Control, select this track piece, gonna copy it, I'm gonna click over here, then we're going to paste it, gonna rotate it 180 degrees, and here we're gonna once again build vertical track upwards. Okay, I'm now going to delete these horizontal pieces and the sloping pieces, and I'm just going to build it until it's right into the ground. Okay, we can now make this part of the ride invisible. An easy way to do that is to go into cheats and enable the allow arbitrary ride type changes sheet and change the ride into a crooked house. Another good thing about this is that the ride will never break down when it's changed into a crooked house. Something which you should remember when you changed into a crooked house is that the stats of a crooked house are pretty bad. So yeah, if you want guests to actually ride it and not complain that they want to go in something more thrilling, you should change the ride stats. Easy way to do that is to go into the Ride Vehicle Editor plugin. Now the ride is already selected. We edit the ride, then we freeze rating calculation, and then set the multiplier to 100 or to 10, and then just increase the stats to what you think is appropriate for the ride. Okay, I built the entrance or the ride a little bit off ground, which is also why the entrance and exit are a bit off ground. I'm now just going to lower them a bit, like so. Now this will mean that when guests exit the ride, they will actually drop down a bit, but I think it will look better if the entrance and exit are on ground level. The reason I built the ride a little bit off the ground is that if we didn't, when the vehicle is down on the ground here, it would actually sink into the ground a bit. It's slightly below ground level. So raising the ride off the ground a bit yeah, stops that from happening and will definitely make the ride look a little bit better. Okay, with that done, I will just quickly connect a queue and an exit path to the ride. I'm just adding some extra paths here since this ride is definitely a ride that people would want to look at. So just adding some extra paths here to give the guests a clear view of the ride. Okay, to finish off the ride, just going to add some nice flooring below here. I will also add a little operator hut in the back and also a small tower where all the springs and pulleys of the ride would be. And basically there would be an assembly here which would pull on the cables and lift the vehicle up. Okay, I just put some fencing around the ride. Also just copied and pasted a few of these track pieces. So if you just hold control and then copy a track piece. I just copied one of these pieces and one of these pieces here onto the same tile. And that sort of yeah, works as the assembly here in which the springs would be housed. Now, you could probably do this in a better way. I haven't really figured out a better way to represent that structure here. But yeah, you will always find a little tower like that next to one of these modern slingshot rides. I also put some fencing around. Here's a little operator hut. So now I'm just going to make the entrance and exit of this ride invisible. If the no entrance option doesn't show for you, then you may have to go into the object selection. Then over here, go to entrances, and then here under station entrances, then here select OpenRCT2 official, and make sure selected only is off, and then you should see the options here for no entrance and no entrance, no platform. And then the entrance and exit just disappear. Okay, the ride is now functional, so I'm just going to open it. And we should probably give it a nice name. Alright, Slingy McShot face. I'm just going to quickly put some trees around just to decorate the ride. Okay, I've now decorated the ride, and with that we now have a nice selection of tower rides in the park. Here we have the parachute tower, here we have the star flyer, and now we also have the slingshot ride. Now I just added some more trees right next to the ride. I think all in all, it looks great, especially with these nice colors on these arms here. Okay, we've now gotten to the point where we add another one of my patrons to the park as an entertainer. Okay, I've placed this entertainer here. He's jumping joyfully right in front of the ride. So let's quickly name him. Okay, Patrick Healy, thank you so much for supporting me on Patreon. It's truly appreciated. And I hope you enjoy your spot here in the park, right in front of the Slingshot Ride. And if you're watching this video, you also want to support my channel, you can find a link to my Patreon channel in the video description, and all my patrons get a nice spot in the park. Alright, that's going to be the end of this tutorial. If you liked this video, or if you learned something from this tutorial, please leave a like. It would really help out my channel. I would love to hear in the comments what you think of this video. And if you want to see more of these videos, you can always subscribe to my channel. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.